was like, that's really that's the stuff, right? The whole, like when you listen to something, that's literally just people having a conversation. So.
But there's stuff you can have on a podcast and stuff you
I get
can't.
it. Oh, I get that. But I just don't know that
I don't think you do, Jim. I don't think you do.
But no, but at some point, though, we would be able to, if let's say we're getting into something, you would be able to say, like, in your head or jot down, 17-minute mark. That's a good starting place. And then we can just go in as opposed to always having a cold start.
I understand what you're saying.
Editorial input. I know I'm not married to it. It's your podcast.
You're damn right.
Fucker. I don't think Mark can hear me right now, but I'm really going to try to push this.
Hello, everyone. This is the Ascertainers. It's a music podcast with too much alcohol involved.
And we always get along. We never get in fights or nothing.
But anyways, it's Mark and Jim. I'm Mark.
You might want to put some ice on that, Mark, for that beating, that savage beating I just got you. Gave you.
And my partner over here is Jim.
It's Jim, spelled with a J, not G, like gymnasium, like a lot of people think. It's just Jim.
And we started this podcast because we sit around talking about stupid crap all the time. And we think it's very interesting. So we thought we would force it on you. So welcome to our podcast.
That's the way, I like it. Yes, and this we started this way back in 2023, so this is we're not like amateur rookies.
Yeah, we're not novice at this. We are.
We are super good at it. Mark, do we have any sponsors?
We do. We have our favorite restaurant that we go to before recording.
We try to, yeah. And I'd say that 90% of the time we go to
Newt.
Where's Newt, Mark?
It's in Apple Valley, but it originated in Rochester.
Apple Valley, California?
Apple Valley, New Jersey. No, Apple Valley, Minnesota, for those of you who live out of state.
Mark, we have people in different countries that listen to us.
You're right. We are big time.
Who knows? So this is one of those episodes that, so we're good. We ascertained. We did all that kind of stuff. Because the last episode we waited for about 20 minutes and to announce ourselves. But
unless you want to add more to the,
we're awesome. You're lucky to be listening to us for free. We're gonna we're gonna probably have your information and charge you after. So if you get a bill in the mail from the Ascertainers, just pay it. Don't question it. And
yeah, just send in your billing information to theascertainers at gmail.com.
There are websites, there are podcasts that literally, I think they call it a Patreon or whatever, where people just will, goodness of their heart, they'll just give those people money. And I don't think we're there. I don't think that I think we should stay
We're
free.
So close.
We are
so close.
We are pushing, and so we use a service called Buzzsprout as kind of our hosting site. Is that technically the term?
Correct.
And they push our podcast out to wherever you're listening to it on. It was because of Buzzsprout. And they give us stats on the number of downloads. And we think that we know that those are unique downloads. So if I listen to an episode 5 times, it only counts as one download, right? So it's not like if I listen to these things 1,000 times, it'll say, oh, there's 1,000 more. But we are on the cusp as we're talking right now. And this we don't know when this particular episode will come out, but it's our second of the night, so we're pretty well into it, if you know what I'm talking about. But we're at about we're just shy of 1,500 downloads, which seems like a lot. Like if you count to 1,500, it's going to take you a bit.
For when we started this endeavor, that is a lot.
don't know.
I never thought we would get to something.
We had no
like
expectations, that's for sure. And that's why we bought this really entry-level equipment. No offense, something, but I think that we could probably... We should get at least a couple of microphones where we can do remotes, you know what I mean? Or get that capability. That'd be fun to do.
So I was editing the other night, and my
Is that what you call it?
expensive computer right in the middle just gave me the blue screen of death.
Is that when you lock yourself in that room and your wife knocks on the door, you're like, I'm just editing. I'll be done in a minute.
That's right. Get a ward if you want to come in.
And then, and on top of that, that's when you got the blue screen. That's a bad time to get the blue screen.
I thought the cops are shutting down my computer.
You're like, just delete history. How do I get to that from here?
If I could get out of this noose and do that. Sorry, that was
God.
That's from a previous episode.
Like
I apologize.
I fell in this rope fashioned itself around my neck. Oops.
My clothes just fell off. I don't know what happened.
The coroner's like, I don't get what's with the wristband, but you must have been at it for a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, in my head, I got a whole thing going on here.
Sorry, listeners. This is the way the podcast is starting out.
It's the Michael Hutchins. If you want to listen to listen to the episode called Jim's Invention. We go pretty heavily into how we could have, how the INXS could have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by now if Jim would have saved his life by coming up with his cool invention at this point.
Phrasing.
Damn you, Shark Tank. What did I say?
Coming up.
Oh, I didn't arrive at. Even that's a little slippery. Oh fuck! I can't get a break here. I love it when Mark does his drowning man laugh. That's one of my favorite things ever. I haven't heard it for a while, so. Good to know I still got it. And who knows when this will come out? Maybe this might come out in the summertime. That reminds me of something else I heard about. Oh, shit.
We're going to just have a 40 minutes of us laughing at it.
That's good. That's good. It's hard to listen to people laugh without laughing yourself. So that's what we're going with. I thought I had a thing. Oh,
Newts.
I thought have we not talked about Newts? We literally just talked about Newts.
I don't remember when we
do episodes back to back, it's hard to remember if we talked about it on this one or not yet. You're wiping your eyes. Mark has been very affected.
I think we started,
or it means that my eyes have started watering and he's drawing attention to it.
I think we started, but we didn't finish the whole.
Yeah, because I said Newts, and you said Apple Valley, and I said Apple Valley, Minnesota, and then
we went on to
other.
Yeah.
So Newts is awesome. If you're in Minnesota, if you're in the South Metro of Minneapolis specifically, although the people sitting to our left, who we didn't really engage, which is rare for us, they apparently Newt's Apple Valley was halfway for them. So I don't know if they're related or if they're like doing a long distance, whatever. But she is from West Concord, Minnesota, which I happen to kind of know. I know.
Is that the north side of Rochester?
No, West Concord is west of Rochester, I believe.
Oh.
I think it's kind of between like Rochester and maybe Austin. It's kind of in that, I want to say Leroy, Ostrander area. Like there's certain cities, they have a good girls basketball team because you only remember the name Bird Island Lake Lillian.
Barry Roller.
Barry Woller?
Yeah, he was the star of Bird Island Lake Lillian.
He's also in an April Wine song. He's a Woller. High roller, baby. Yeah.
Oh my! Oh, again, I apologize to people.
All right. RIP. R.I.P. Miles Goodwin. I still, man, never saw April Wine live, and that kind of troubles me a little bit. But Are we still talking about Newts? Yes.
We haven't
Yes,
finished
I brought
yet.
it back. So anyway, but she was familiar. I go, have you nuded before? And she said, yes.
Have you nuded before?
Well, it's a verb going to Newts. And she said she's from West Concord, and this guy was from apparently 2 hours north of there, or an hour north. And yeah, so Apple Valley is where lovebirds meet at Newt's. And they have a new special called the, I wrote it down, Smash Truffle Burger.
No.
Swish.
How do you pronounce that?
Swish.
Oh, we play basketball?
That's when you throw it in your mouth and
Swish.
effortlessly goes in. So like last Friday is a swish. So anyway, it's really good. Just go to Newt's. You'll enjoy the, honestly, where can you go to a bar that has popcorn? And it's good. It's not crap. It's good popcorn. You show up, you do your thing. You have a cold beverage, alcoholic or non. And yeah, good people. It's got a good vibe at Newt's. I think you should go. And if you go there, what are you going to tell them, Mark?
Tell them the ascertainer sent you.
That's what we demand. We don't ask. We insist. And if you don't, we're probably going to lose our sponsorship. And then where are we? What's our sponsorship consist of?
We get a free beer each.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, we're not suckers. We each get one.
And again, Sarah brings them right to us. We never have to ask.
That's the beauty.
They're right there.
I really worry if I ever quit drinking that it would be a bad place to go because they're going to give you a beer anyway. So, but it's good. Newt's is where the Ascertainers was born, and the back booth with Audie Todd. Call him Ted. But Todd was there, Todd O. And yeah, he was offered a spot actually, and he said, Todd's a little bit more of an introvert, yeah, but he still would be fun to have on.
The first time I brought it up was after a concert. We go to the Lakeville Arts Center.
Lakeville, Minnesota, downtown, quaint little downtown.
Beautiful little venue. It's an old church, and we see bands down there. It's just excellent. But the word's out, and it's usually crowded. But anyways, we went to a bar afterwards.
Oh,
and I
I
brought
bet
this
we could
home.
get them to sponsor us. What's it called though? I forget. It's the old Lakeville Bowl, but now it's called like
I can't remember.
Baldy's Backyard something. We'll get more on that before we ask for a sponsorship.
But that was the first time I brought up the podcast. You shot me down the first time.
And that's, but because you said you want to talk about sports, and then I told you everything I know about the NBA.
Yeah,
Is that guy still in the league? The guy said there'll be more.
I think he's injured and out for the year.
Oh, there you go.
He needs surgery.
But is he shot a guy?
No, he hasn't. He's brought a gun in a couple of times to the.
Okay, the name of the bar. Our new sponsor target is Baldy's Tailgate. I'm going to throw you a couple of freebies here, Baldy. His name is, well, I don't think he wants to know his real name, but he's a good guy. He owns Baldy's Barbecue right off Highway 35 and Highway 70. Been there for maybe 15 years, 10 anyway. Real good barbecue. Good sides too. His like corn little situation there is super good. But it's called Baldy's Tailgate, and I believe they have golf simulators there. They have bags.
One.
It's like an interactive sports bar, if you will, because you can play bags, you could do the golf thing. I'm sure they got golden tee out the ass. But yeah, we'll get down there because we're going to go see Elton John.
Elton John covers by.
It's a tribute. Is there a guy Mick Sterling?
Mick Sterling.
So Mick Sterling, formerly of Mick Sterling and the Sharps, excellent band name, who we have seen do tribute shows for Billy Joel and
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison is going to be doing an Elton John tribute show. And if there are tickets available, Lakeville Center for the Arts, you should check it out. But across the street from that little venue is Baldy's Tailgate. So we'll be going to Baldy's and maybe asking them. I think that they're not really in the same market as Newt's. And they're a little bit different vibe than Newt's. We'll see. Hey, Baldy, how about throwing us a beer if we shout you out?
Newt, are you getting
or should we do different than just getting a beer? Because, Beer's a dime a dozen.
Thousands of dollars?
I don't think that would be appropriate at this stage in the game. Maybe though we can get them at entry level. Tell them to buy us a Powerball.
50 cents.
We could do maybe do a golf simulator thing, or I think a beer is probably pretty cheap for a bar, especially a tap beer.
Because the golf simulator is probably pretty expensive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's we'll talk to him. He's a nice guy. Brian is his first name. Baldy. People that know him know as Brian.
When we hit 1,500 downloads, then we'll have some heft to go in there and.
I'm pretty positive by the time this one gets out. I mean, we're almost there now as we record it, and this is going on the shelf.
Oh,
so
we're gonna get whatever we ask for. Then
we're gonna have like 1,508. I mean, it's gonna be huge, man. So, okay, we don't have any errors and omissions because we are on a second episode. How am I doing on this, by the way? What is? Oh, I hit a button. I hit the thing.
I hit a button.
Oh, I literally hit the minute button from the bottom. How does that? Oh, Meatloaf, what's going on over here? Because I held it up.
Go back.
Hey, show's over. See, Moose out front should have told you. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to worry about it either. Thank you. Oh, now I got prime numbers. Got integers involved and shit. Okay.
I actually found this beer sitting on the table.
Yeah, it's warm. It was in the cooler from before that I didn't bring upstairs.
I didn't want a beer to go to waste. That's alcohol abuse.
Okay.
So where were we? We were talking about the concert, new sponsor. But should we get into music?
We were talking about Earls. I hope we didn't touch butts with the sponsors. Where we love Newt's and we encourage everyone to go. But because we didn't, did we do a radio game? We got to do the radio game, and then we should have talked about. Well, no, we started talking about the concert that we're going to,
right?
And you had no idea. Oh, it was the birthplace of the podcast. This is good for Pat. Pat K will love this. How we kind of drive around the countryside and find a road once in a while. So
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Like a little remote control car, fucking up cacti and shit. But how we got to, apparently before Newt's, the conversation we had at Newt's with Todd O, before that we had a conversation at Baldy's after a show at the Lakeville Center for the Arts, and so that's how we got to that. So
yeah, you shot me down.
All apologies to Newt's for mentioning them in the same breath. Like Will Smith would come up and smack my face, go,
that's right,
Baldy's out your mouth. So,
well, let's go on to the radio game.
Yes, I think
We're
it's
already
a bully idea. So
into this.
Since this is a kind of a second episode, we will be able to use our. By the way, everyone has won at the radio game. Of the two-person team, Mark and Jim, everyone has won except Jim.
Hi, and I'm Mark. Welcome to the podcast.
And Mark does have an asterisk because it was in the second. So we, since this is a second recording, unknown number, we get to use our first four that we picked. Radio game is where we listen to KQRS, who's been playing the same shit since 1980 or 1970, whatever. As long as we've been alive and listening to music.
Exactly.
So what we do is we pick four songs, two that are like mainstream,
or four bands.
Yes, bands. Thank you. Two that are really, mainstream, kind of everybody knows them, and then two that are maybe a little bit more of a wild card. And so then I listen to. I've got a little transistor radio that Mark bought me. I think Mark still thinks it's his, but I think it's mine. And
it rarely works, so yes, it is yours.
That's true. When it works, it's Mark's. When it doesn't, it's mine. But. So anyway, I listen to the whatever is on at that time, and if it matches with any of the songs for the radio game, then that person wins. And so far, through 40, we don't even know what episode this is, but it took
in the 40s.
It took us until the 43rd episode for Mark to get one right, and he got it right in the second crack, so it doesn't really count. But a lot of our guests have. I think 4 of our guests have gotten it right. Charlie, Jeff, Jason, and Steve. Steve got a little tweener.
Yeah, Steve was close on the first round. And
right, but yeah, he could have been gold. Like if he picked Stevie Nicks instead of Fleetwood Mac, he would have got Fleetwood Mac. You know what I mean? So
Right.
rookie mistake. Sorry, Steve. Try again, and we will have you on again, and we'll even let you talk. That's how cool the Ascertainers are.
But tonight we're doing a second episode, so we add 2 bands.
So
one
we
Legacy
will,
and one Long Shot.
So Mark will tell me his first 4 bands that he picked from the previous episode.
If you're lucky, I will.
Well, you want to do your 2 mainstream? Let's do 2 and 2.
Steve Miller and Meatloaf.
Okay, and I went with Rush and the fuck did I go with? Thin Lizzy. Rush and Thin Lizzy.
Okay. And then I went with Ram Jam because Jim hates Black Betty and Sanford Townsend band.
The Eyes from a Distant Fire.
Smoke from a Distant Fire.
There it is. And then my long shots are Billy Squire and Molly Hatchet. So you get to add 2 bands, 1 mainstream and 1 long shot. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Joe Walsh, thank you very much. I'll grab onto the James Gang and the Eagles.
So could you count that as your Eagles as your mainstream?
No.
Oh.
Joe Walsh is the pick. You gotta see how this unfolds, and as long as I win, it's okay. And then who's your mainstream?
I'll go with David Bowie.
Oh, come on, I feel like it's gonna win. You foreshadowed it so well, and I can't think of the dang song. I think it's from the last episode. Who's my favorite Bowie song?
I know you never thought of it, and
I
you're
know,
still.
And I'm
about
stuck on it too, and I either get it or I don't. And when I don't, it's bad.
Mine is TVC 15, but then it became Heroes.
All right, I'm going with Blondie for my long shot.
And I'm going to go with Iggy Pop. Goes hand in hand with David Bowie.
Lust for Life or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wild Child. Passengers or Passenger.
Should have picked Dire Straits. Money for Nothing. You would have won.
Uh,
Son of a biscuit.
Did Dire Straits have a hit in 1977?
78 is when Sultans of Swing came out.
Oh.
So when I came up with the topics, I thought that there. I'm like, oh, son of a! I got it off by a year because I think that Sultans of Swing, one of my favorites. Although they may did Tunnel of Love and Romeo and Juliet was after.
That was in the 90s or no 80s.
Later 80s though. I think Sultans
Yeah.
of Swing was their eponymous, like their self-titled, but.
Just for the listeners, we did an episode earlier that we covered 1977, A Year in Music, and this is the second.
This is the resumption. Is that a word? We're resuming the topic because there's just so many amazing songs from 1977. Honestly, and I guess so. Like people that are born today, or people that were born like our kids,
Right.
are they looking back and going, "Oh yeah, man, the golden age was like the late 90s and early 2000s." I'm just like, it just for some reason it doesn't have the chutzpah or the
No.
gravitas of the shit that we listen to.
But it's nice when we went.
But we didn't appreciate. Sorry to cut you off because that's what I do. That's what I'm
You're very
working
good
on.
at it.
I know, but I'm working on it. So just so you know, hey, shut up. I know, and I hate the word "shut up." Oh, if I ever say that, then you know it's time to cut the mics because I'm having a bad day. But I'm not. I think it's the rudest thing people could say. That and listen. Like when you're talking to someone, they go, "Hey, listen." It's like, ooh, that's such a dick move.
Well, I always come up with, if you're really angering me, I'll say whatever.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah, whatever.
Or, hey, Jim. Anyway, I am a flawed man, and so I forget where I was going the whole time.
But anyways, I was talking about before you rudely interrupted me as usual.
You were talking about that's ridiculous.
It's fun because my kids will introduce me to music of their era, and I'll introduce them to music of my era, and we love the crossover.
Okay.
And we went to your son's show.
Oh, Fiji.
Yeah.
Fiji. I credit Fiji with the Ascertainers theme because 2 of the members of Fiji were instrumental, if I will, in the creation of it. Although it was Big Al, my youngest, came up with everything, and the original version that you'll hear for like, I don't know, 15 episodes, starting at episode 6, when we got theme music. Think how sad our podcast was. Even sadder our podcast was without theme music. But he did that kind of on his like computer in in his apartment. And the addition, they kind of added. He brought a guy named Paul in, Paul Dubb. Sup? I picked Billy Squire. We lost, pal, but we tried. And anyway, they did it. It's got a much more warm.
Right.
Kind of a thing. They might have kept the drum track or something, or maybe one of them played drums. Paul used to play drums in another band. For those younger listeners, Molly's Worst Enemy. Actually, Fiji is basically Molly's Worst Enemy, minus a couple guys and plus a guy. So it's got 3 Molly's members in it. And Molly's is a fun band, but hey, it's it just.
But the music is, to me, it's awesome. I just. How they came up with that, and it fits our podcast. I mean, that's when I hear that, I just think of our podcast. It's just
we're lucky that, lucky to have them. I'm looking at my phone right now at David Bowie songs, and it's not real good radio for me to be doing this.
No, but it has been bothering
really good songs. Holy shit!
Genie, where he reinvented himself, that was a great song, a pop song that he just threw out there. He really didn't even work at it. Like you say, it was very, I don't know, it just came easy to him. I love that song, maybe because of that.
I'll tell you right now, if you didn't like David Bowie before you saw Zoolander, and then he shows up as the judge for the walk-off in Zoolander, that is such a pop culture rando, holy shit, why is David Bowie doing this? And he nailed it. He was just so good. So that's what I gotta say. Did you hear how he so his eyes always weren't 2 colors? Apparently,
no, I had no.
Apparently he got in a fight, and it somehow affected the pigment of his eyes. He must have caught a good shiner or something, and I don't know, I gotta look that up. I feel like this, I'm just literally erroring and omissioning as we speak, but we can't
But he did end up marrying Iman. Is that how they pronounce it? The model?
After Joey Browner or before? Because didn't Joey Browner, wasn't he married? Minnesota Vikings? Number what?
Joey Browner. I don't remember.
47.
Okay.
I think. That I can look up.
Joey Browner was married to Iman?
Yes,
Iman? How do you pronounce her name?
Iman.
Are you serious?
Pretty fucking sure, dude.
Wow. Joey.
Only one way to find out. He's
Joey. Good on you, man.
no shit.
Wow.
Here, I'm gonna look that up because now I feel like I have another Arizona mission. It's just kind of walking.
If that is true,
this is like walking down the block. Jim kicks the can down the block, makes it about 7 sidewalk squares up, and then he's like, "Oh fuck!" Before I get to that can, I gotta realize I kicked that with a wooden shoe. What's it? Iman?
I'm sorry. IMAN.
Shit, this might not go well.
He started blinking, so I think
I can't see. I'm not very gifted sight wise. I made up for it with a giant. Oh, the Big Dick Clinic called today too. By the way, they're like, "Hey, thank you for your bravery, Jim. You're something else."
We needed the other end of the
personal.
spectrum.
Joey Browner. It's not saying Iman right away because that's what you would think it would say. Shit, how did I get that wrong?
I
mean, David Bowie, Joey Browner. I mean, they should be getting the same class of girl, don't you think?
Oh, and they're the age difference.
I'm gonna go Joey Browner wife. Keep talking.
Joey Browner must have been several years younger than both David Bowie and Iman.
Come on, one time, Joey Browner wife. It's coming. It's cooking.
Wow.
I
think you're gonna be disappointed on this one.
This is bad. This is real dating history. Oh my god, I'm screwed. Girlfriend.
Are you just gonna keep acquaintances?
I'm gonna met her at a diner. Spilled water on.
Saw her from afar.
Afar? Huh.
Afar.
Are you thinking of the same movie reference that I am?
It was Steve Martin.
The man with two brains. What's your name? It's Dr. Hfuhruhurr. It's like, how do you spell that? HFU, HFR, HFURR. Just like it sounds. Hfuhruhurr. Oh my
He also does it in Three Amigos.
Who's dated who? Okay, Joey Browner dating history. This is the most sketch website I've ever seen. I can just feel the viruses coming into my phone fucking right now.
That or the police are coming after
you. How about I look up Iman? There, let's reverse engineer this thing here. Iman. I'm going to check if I date her. Just a sec. I'm going to do my name first, and then Iman. It just isn't. There's so much.
I think we can let it go. It's some other Joey Brown. Maybe you're thinking Joey Bishop from the 50s.
Wasn't he in the Brat Pack?
The Rat Pack. Did you say Brat or Rat?
Brat. Oh, Rat.
Rat Pack.
The Brat Pack was the
80s.
Our guy we were talking about earlier today.
Right.
Who?
Oh, God.
Well, we're talking about two of them. Robert Downey Jr., who we like, and then...
He was not in the Rat Pack, or Brat Pack.
But was Andrew McCarthy in the Brat Pack?
Yes.
God, how?
It was him,
that guy was such
Rob
a
Lowe,
non-person.
Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore. Boy, this is sad that I even know
Who's
this
the guy,
shit.
the tough guy in Breakfast Club?
Oh, yeah.
He was in it. This is like, hi, welcome to Alzheimer's Quarterly.
But he kind of faded after that.
Judd
Nelson. Oh, man.
Jinx.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Buy me some Coke. Joey Browner. Hang on, I'm still on the Joey Browner. Did you ever see the movie Reservoir Dogs?
Oh, yeah. Toby.
Yeah.
Toby.
That's exactly it. Toby won. Hey, shut the fuck up. Here we go. I'm going to stop, and it just always comes up the same thing. It's like a picture of Chuck Foreman. Oh, he was number 47, though, so I got that going for me. Can you see that, Farm?
Well, look up number 43. I think that was Nate Wright.
I think that number 43 didn't date him on. That was David Bowie. Hang on.
No, but a previous episode we came up with number 43 for some reason.
I will be victorious. Joey Browner had some smoking hot girlfriend. I thought it was Iman. Let's talk about 1977 music while I do that.
Previous episode, I listed all mine.
Oh, that's not good.
We talked about it.
Where does that leave you? Didn't you think that I would have to look up Joey? When you were doing show prep for 2 episodes ago, how did you not know that I would have trouble with Joey Browner and Iman's relationship?
But we were bringing up 1977 music.
Well,
and they had punk.
Just so you know, Iman, if you're listening, and I thought that was you at Newt's, but Joey Browner is currently single. So if maybe I was thinking, because David Bowie is no longer with us, that you could use a very good, maybe potentially borderline Hall of Fame strong safety boyfriend.
How does Joey Browner not have CTE? He was the hardest hitting.
He was a beast.
Safety.
And he also, I think they did the horse collar tackle because of him, because he could just grab a guy's jersey. He'd
and
catch
just
up
throw
to
him down.
And just pull him backwards on a full sprint. I mean, that was like, he did that to Barry Sanders and shit. I mean, that was like, oh, cripes. Now I'm like, oh, they didn't play the same era. This isn't a sport.
No, they did.
Did they? Okay.
But he never grabbed the shoulder pads. He would grab the actual jersey.
Right.
And pull him down. He was so strong. Man, he could hit.
God, this literally says Joey Browner girlfriends. He had at least one relationship previously. Thank you. All right, I'm done. I'm going to just error and omit myself.
And we never found out your David Bowie song after all that. We were talking about music from 1977.
Yeah.
A year in music.
My head hurts.
But which was...
From all the wrongness.
Was very neat because it had Do you like that?
What's up there, Spiffy?
It had punk, disco, rock,
Yes.
reggae, R&B, country. I mean,
And I'm back in the saddle. I'm gonna
maybe that was.
contribute here. 'Cause
Maybe there's other years that had that, but that year was phenomenal.
Would you like to give me a date in 1970, and I'll tell you what was on the top 40 that week, or should I just kind of scroll through this mess that I have here?
Pick like a month, like June. Well,
It's right in
it's
the
sort
middle.
of. It's a
Let's start to
date.
start.
It's
How about
June.
February? Ending February 19th. How about that?
Sure.
Oh, how about this? This is, I think, an underrated band.
So you're telling me that how to run your phone, and you spent probably 15 minutes on the Joey Browner.
I have to ask you, did you date him on? I mean, I want to get somebody dating him on other than, okay. So, number, what is it? 1. This must be like, no, it must be like this week and then what last week was. But the number 1 song for the week ending February 19th, 1977 was Blinded by the Light.
Oh,
Manfred Mann's Earth Band. Then, I'm going to give you 5 and we'll talk about these 5.
Oh, okay.
Then we have New Kid in Town by the Eagles. Are you shitting me? Torn Between Two Lovers, Mary McGregor. Love Theme from A Star Is Born. That would be Babs. Barbara Streisand is on the same chart as the Eagles. And then number 5 is Kenny Nolan. Kenny Nolan shows up everywhere in 1977 with I Like Dreamin'.
Oh, that's actually
How great of a song is that? I mean, that's like a one-hit juggernaut. Is that 5? Torn Between Two Lovers. Yeah, that's 5. I'll just keep going until you start talking. Mike, the Jacksons.
Did you do 5?
Yeah, that was 5. The 5 were Manfred Mann, Blinded by the Light, New Kid in Town, Eagles, Torn Between Two Lovers, which isn't really a song because no one knows it. And then because I did show prep for the first time ever, and that song is good. That thing from Evergreen, Love, Soft as an Easy Chair. Who's that? 43. Who is it? Nate Wright. Nice. What's Paul Krause? Quick.
22.
Nice. Darren Nelson.
20.
Yes.
21.
20.
20.
You had it. Oh, Terry Young. 21. Ricky Young.
23.
I think he wore 43. Teddy Brown was 23.
Who we met at the golf course.
We did. Remember that in a warmer day, a warmer time?
I do remember.
When it was dark at fucking 4 in the afternoon?
I have to say, Blinded by the Light, I hated that song. Even though it was written by Bruce Springsteen. And Manfred Mann made it famous.
Why do you hate it? It's a good song.
I don't think so. I just don't care for it.
Because you thought
it grates on my nerves. It's like listening to Rush.
You thought it said the word douche in it, and Go-Kart Mozart was looking at the weather chart, seeing if it's cold outside. Ooh, that's a pretty good recall right there.
It's like listening to Steve Miller.
Oh, well, guess what? Fly Like an Eagle was number 8 that week. Fly Like an Eagle. Also, you had Car Wash by Rose Royce. Not Rolls Royce, but Rose Royce.
What a great movie.
Car Wash? Which one?
The original Car Wash.
Who was in that? Was that like Foxy Brown? What's her name? Pam Grier? Was she in it?
No.
I don't believe I ever saw it. Then it got remade with like Snoop, didn't it? Or
yeah, it did, but the remake was terrible. But the original was a very funny movie. I liked it.
Okay, I'm going to round out the top 10 for you. We did Fly Like an Eagle, Steve Miller. And by the way, I listened to Wintertime this past week. Like before this might have led into my wanting to do the 77 thing, is Steve Miller, Book of Dreams. Fucking solid record, man. It's really good. But Wintertime, I listened to it. I think I got it for Christmas. And I'm listening to it in cold-ass Minnesota. Like, I can remember looking out the kitchen window of the house. This guy here is to my, 5 feet, 10 feet.
And icicles are on the edges of the window.
The frost on the window and everything. It was just like, but it's such a chill tune. And even if Steve Miller's lyrics suck, It's he sucks you in on that one. But so
is In My Own Space on that?
it might be.
That's a great.
I don't know all the record, but it's got enough good shit that it's like really good. Now the next two, Lost Without Your Love, Bread.
Oh,
underrated band.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Nice name.
Too many carbohydrates.
Fucking bread. You kidding me? And then a guy from Detroit, not Ted Nugent. Who's another Bob Seger? Who's another artist from Detroit?
Let me guess.
Who's another Bob Seger from Detroit? Fuck! I just gave you everything. Then we got little Barry Manilow, Weekend in New England, which I believe was borderline salacious. That was kind of a song about a couple of people just getting it on in New England. It's fun. Stevie Wonder, I Wish. Year of the Cat, Al Stewart.
Al Stewart
had 2 monster hits.
Yes.
Time Passages. That's the other one.
I love that song.
Those were good. That's great radio shit. Now we got a little ABBA. We got a little, I don't know what this is called. Daz by Brick. Don't know what that is. Hard Luck Woman. Kiss. Kiss is in the top 40.
You know,
Kiss and Barbra Streisand were in the same top 40. Get your head around that. Deal with it.
On a previous episode, we were talking about when you hear a song, does it take you back to a certain place and time? And Time Passages does that to me.
Ironically, aptly named.
Yeah.
Time Passages.
That song brings a smile to me when I hear that song.
I don't know if I've ever seen you smile. I've seen you laugh, but I've never seen you just go from like straight face to.
Well,
you don't. You're like a fucking nutcracker, like the puppet. You're like close mouth, laugh. That's it.
Well, the police kind of said quit smiling around other people. It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
So I
and
had
your
to
therapist,
stop.
and the warden, and your school counselor,
And you.
I can see that. No, I just realized it. It's weird. Maybe it's because I usually have a mask on you before we just take it off for the podcast.
Mark, COVID's still around. Put your mask on. No, I don't think it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's
Put your mask.
It's a goalie mask. It's not a PPE situation here. Okay. Hard Luck Woman, Kiss. Then we got Go Your Own Way, Fleetwood Mac. Boogie Child, Bee Gees. By the way, I don't remember that song.
I don't either.
I feel like Boogie Child was done by somebody else, but
Oh, I'm thinking Boogie Shoes.
KC and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah.
They're also on this chart somewhere. Don't Leave Me This Way by Thelma Houston. Now, that one I don't know.
Oh, she was the other one of Thelma and Louise.
Oh, I thought she was like the housekeeper on the Jeffersons. That was pretty coul. The Jeffersons had a housekeeper. I mean, you know. Ironic. They should have made her white, but
And she didn't.
Oh my, that was a little. By the way, this last burp is compliments of
Garlicky.
Newt's it's garlic aioli, which is dynamite. So we're about done.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I thought you were thinking, oh, it's only.
Well, then we'll do the last artist and song is "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing" by one Leo Sayer.
You make me feel like dancing.
Leo Sayer tore it up. Oh my God! So I'm just gonna go real quick. The next 21st is Daryl Hall and Oates, Stephen Bishop, 10cc, The Silvers, Kansas, Aerosmith, Smokey, must be Smokey Robinson, Boston, Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis, and then the fuck Jeans On by David Dundas. Well, we'll research that one and also get my favorite Bowie song and get right back to you. Thanks for listening. Who are we, Mark?
We are the Ascertainers.
We are.
And if you want to get in contact with us, send us an email and we'll get you on the radio. That's how old I am. On the podcast. Just send it to theascertainers@gmail.com.
Traditional spelling. Night.
See you later. Bye.